Hello, my name is Patrick, also known as Merlin in the hooping community, and this is our new hoop, the PsiHoops. And the purpose of this particular video is to show you just an overview of the functions of this hoop. All of these functions will be covered in great detail in the beginner tutorial, which has a video and document, and in the intermediate tutorial, which is a larger document with 17 at the moment videos explaining in more depth how to do each particular thing. But right now we're just going to go through an overview. You turn this hoop on and off with a switch at the top here, the button switch. You open it and close it just with a simple twist, and this is ready for hooping just like that. Depending on what orientation the hoop is in, you get to a whole new set of what we call hoops or displays within that orientation, what we call a quiver of hoops. And as you move many of the hoops, you'll see changes in the display, either in color or pattern or speed and so forth, and the hoop will respond to movements in different ways. And you navigate through the menus just using movements. And the basic moves that'll communicate to the hoop what you want it to do is going to be a flip move. That was a forward flip, which will change the display each time you flip. And you go back to the previous display or forward to the one you were just in. So that's called a flip move, and you can go back and forth. Or a wheel turn move, and we'll demonstrate that in another orientation here, where a wheel turn will vary colors, but it'll vary lots of different parameters depending where you are in the hoop. But those are the two moves, a flip and a wheel turn. We call this Merlin's wheel, or you can call it an isolation. And those two are the basic ways of communicating to the hoop, to change things as you dance and play with the hoop. And the idea of this hoop is that you can change all the parameters as you're moving. All these changes can be part of your hoop dance. Wow. Let's say we're in one quiver and we're playing. This happens to be the random quiver, and we're playing with some hoops, and we want to go back to a hoop that we know where it is. And let's say we left it in the quiet quiver, which is the vertical orientation. I just press the switch a little bit, wait for the color signal that says I'm in the quiet quiver, and now I'm back in the hoop I was playing with. And this is a hoop that just probably is best for a very slow meditative kind of hooping. It varies its display based on angle, orientation, and so forth, predictably, so you can go back to the same color in the same angle or orientation. And if we want to go change orientations again to get into another quiver, the switch is now over here. I just press it till I see the color confirmation, and now I'm in the first hoop of the bitmap quiver there, and this happens to say Psi. It's a Psi hoop. So that's how we can change orientations by doing a half off. We can go back to the hoops that we were playing with. Here's that angle hoop again. And the last hoop that you've been using in any particular quiver will be the one that comes on when you go back to it. If you want to stay in a particular display, we can do a move that locks the hoop, so that now we've disabled the flips and the wheel turns. So this hoop, no matter what we do, will stay in this particular display, and we can unlock that hoop again if we want to. And now it's unlocked. We can use a flip move to change our displays like that. Opening up the hoop with the switch down and with the hoop horizontal puts you in a random mode. And in this mode, the hoop will be changing every 5 or so seconds. And if you want to increase the speed, flips in this quiver increase the speed at which the displays change. So now, having flipped a number of times, you'll see that the displays are changing much quicker, and we can slow them down as well by going in the other direction. The hoops will be changing now at a much slower rate. And if we want to do it manually, a side flip, we saw that red signal, so it's now locked. So now every time we flip, we get into a new hoop, and that hoop will stay there until we do another flip. In my playing with the PsiHoop, I've found this particular display that I really like, and I want to use it in a performance, but I want to have it available in different colors. So we do a move that now every time we flip the hoop, we'll have a different color scheme available for us, and we can then play with this as we dance. It'll keep in that particular color scheme no matter what I'm doing until I actually flip the hoop again, and then we'll be in a new color scheme. And then if I say, wow, you know, this hoop is really cool and I want to save it, I want it available to me where I know where it is, and I can then save it. Now it's saved into a particular orientation, and I can always access this hoop whenever I want, and I can have a series of saved hoops for my performance or play. I want to give this hoop to some kids to play with, young kids, but I don't want them to hurt their eyes or get disorientated, so I want to reduce the brightness of the hoop, and I just do this move where I can adjust the brightness, and there is the hoop now dimmer, maybe not so obvious on the video, but at any point as I'm dancing or playing with the hoop, I can do the same move and have the hoop change its brightness. Now it's much brighter. So there's a few settings for doing that, and you can do that while you're dancing. You can start a performance and then keep this move could be part of your performance, and suddenly you've increased or decreased the brightness. I have a hoop and I want it to change colors each time I flip it. So there it is. And if I want to do it that automatically, so I'm not flipping it, but the hoop is just cycling through the colors, I can do that. And then if I want to change the rate at which it's doing something, for instance, changing colors, and I want to control that to the beat of a particular piece of music or my own rhythm, then I can tap that beat in, boom, 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 and now the colors are changing, boom, 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 boom. So we can just vary any of the parameters to go along with a particular beat that you have. We're playing with some hoops, but we've done something that we don't quite understand, and we want to go back to the default setting. So there's a way of just resetting the quiver. So now we're back in the default setting for that quiver. I want to go into a more freewheeling, real-time interactive mode with the hoop. So here, wheel turns will vary parameters directly. As I move and dance, I can vary the colors and so forth. So here we are in a wheel where I'm varying colors, going back and forth. Any place that I like the color, I can actually hoop with that, stay with that hoop. It'll stay in that particular display till I bring it back. So then I can use a wheel here, and now we have alternating lit and dark. If I want to change what those LEDs are doing, are they strobing, fading, or sequencing around the hoop, I can do that with a wheel turn. Let's say I like that sequence. I can then dance with it or go into another screen where now my wheel turns are going to change the number of segments, and if I go in the opposite direction, I can reverse there. So let's say I like 3, but I decided I want a different color scheme again, so I can go back into my wheel where I can change the color schemes. And let's say, yeah, I'm sort of more into the blues right now. Then I can come forward again, varying, let's say, what those sequences, how they're being portrayed there in the hoop with my wheel turns, and that hoop will now have different displays that then might make me dance a certain way or express something or learn some new way of moving with a hoop. There's an overview of some of the functions of the PsiHoops and lots of the displays and how to change displays and navigate around the menus. And what I think we're left with is a challenge to how to turn this into an instrument of expression, how to use that possible variety to have the most fun, to learn the most, to communicate and express what you want to do to further your hoop dance and performance, to accent moves, to practice certain types of moves with it. So that's up to you, and look forward to seeing videos of your success in that.